On Saturday, October 19th, the St. Kitts Nevis Amateur Radio Operators Association assisted youth scouts in St. Kitts to participate in the annual Amateur Radio Jamboree, which was observed this year from October 19th to the 20th. This involves international scouts interacting with their peers across the world via amateur radio stations. 20 scouts from 10 active groups under the leadership of Pastor Clive Saunders were assisted to speak to scouts via amateur radio. This assistance was provided by the Amateur Radio Operators Association with the necessary equipment. President of the St. Kitts Nevis Amateur Radio Operators Association, David Hanley, explained what transpired on Saturday.
Every 3 or 4 years, the Scouts have what they call the Jamboree. It is a global affair where Scouts all over the world there's actually a place where they meet. This year they're meeting in Sri Lanka, but not all the Scouts from all over the world can go. So those who can't go, they have a time when they link up via radio. And so today we the St. Kitts Nevis Amateur Radio Society, we are facilitating that exercise. So we have invited some Scouts, Pastor Saunders and his Scouts, to come along and communicate with Scouts throughout the world, and so that is what is happening in here right now.
Meanwhile, Kadreen Keynes, one of the scouts, shared his experience talking to scouts from other countries.
It was an amazing experience talking to fellow campers on the other islands and getting to know them and their experience.
Right. This is the first time you're using a radio?
Yes, this is the first time.
What? How would you compare it with talking on WhatsApp or on the phone, for example?
It's very, very interesting in the way they go about speaking to it and the different frequencies you can catch.
Mm-hmm. And do you find it, well, it's obviously different, but do you find it any advantages of using this kind of communication compared to maybe a smartphone?
Well, it was educational in the way that he explained that if storms are any hurricane might have come to St. Kitts, we can talk outside of that zone.
Right, so that's one advantage that you see.
That's one advantage.
Okay, and how, with this experience that you've now gained with it, how would you encourage other young people to even learn more about shortwave radio?
Well, it is educational in a sense that if we don't have the normal mobile phone, we have other ways of communication.
Right, and now with that knowledge, you can do that now in the event that you do need to use it.
Yes.
Pastor Clive Saunders spoke highly of the initiative.
The experience was a really good experience. The association reached out to us since that they normally have something called Jamboree every year, like Radio Jamboree, and so it was something different. I've never experienced it before, and I'm glad that we got the opportunity to really speak to scouts from all over the world via the radio. It was awesome.
Jamboree on the Air is the largest scouting event in the world. In a typical year, more than 1 million scouts participate with over 11,000 stations operated by 20,000 plus amateur radio operators in operation from 150 plus countries around the world. I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline.